Hello and welcome to a fresh hour of CBS Sports HQ. I'm Hakeem Dermish. What just happened? We're about to tell you. 4-1s in the Final Four for just the second time in NCAA tournament history. Only two remain. Florida rallies, and so does Houston. An epic comeback by the Cougars. Here's how it went down. And this game was bonkers. Cooper flagging the Blue Devils in the Final Four for the first time under Jon Scheyer. Coach K looking on from the bleachers instead of the bench. Houston one win away from its first national title game appearance since 1984. Here we go. Mid-first half, Cooper flag, National Player of the Year, driving and dunking up 4. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first. Flag, no. Battle for the loose ball. Flag, gets it back. Up and in, circus shot. 8 points in the first half for Flag. Also in the first half, Houston, we have some problems. Cougars just 9 of 29 from the field with 6 turnovers. Houston trailing this tournament, first 4 games combined, 7 minutes and 46 seconds. First half against Duke, 15 minutes and 14 seconds. Down 6 at the break. Fortunate to only be down by 6. Early second, Flag. Defender through contact. Up 8 after the free throw. Flexing on him. Minute later, Tyrese Proctor dribbles into traffic. Finds Flag. For 3. Buries it. Duke up by 9. Later in the second, Flag. Low block. Up and in. Duke by 13. Blue Devils 79-0. Under Jon Scheyer when leading by 10 points at any point in a game. 8 to go. Houston down 14. Largest deficit of the season. LJ Cryer for 3. Got it. Down 11. Just over 5 minutes to go. Inbound to Emmanuel Sharp. Misses, but JoJo Tugler on the putback. It's a 4-point game. Caps a 10-0 Cougars run. Just over 3 minutes to go. Duke up 6. Malik Brown. Fed. Out to Flag. Catch, shoot 3. Knock it down. Up 9. Their first made field goal in over 7 minutes. Minute later, Tugler. Blocked by Flag. He had 3 of them in the game. Duke up 9. 2 minutes to go. Flag 27 points. Doing it all. Houston down 6. Less than a minute to go. This one seems over, right? Not so fast. 40 seconds to go. Cougars down 6. Sharp for 3. Got it. Scored the last 9 points for Houston. They're rallying. Just over 30 seconds to play. Houston still down 3. Sion James turns it over. Malik Wilson for 3. Tugler on the putback. Oh, baby. Houston down 1. 25 seconds to go. Not out of it yet. Fouls Tyrese Proctor. 20 seconds to go. 50% from the line this tournament. Front end of the 1-and-1. No! Flag reaching for the board. He's called for the foul. What? What? Houston in the bonus. Big man Juwan Roberts to the line. 62.5% from the line this season. First free throw. Buries it. Tied at 67. Second free throw. For the lead! That's 7 points in 15 seconds for Houston. Get out your seat. Duke talking it over. With the ball, a chance to win it. 17 seconds. Down 1. Inbound to Con Knipple. Into the hands of Flag. Flag for the go-ahead bucket. Defended by Juwan Roberts. Disrupts it. He misses it. Now after fouling Cryer, who makes both free throws, he had 26. Duke down by 3 with 3.7 seconds to go. Sion James, the inbounder. Heave. Proctor. Proctor. Answer the prayer. And the Cougars complete the comeback. Houston, we have a national title game appearance. Down 14 to win it. 70-67. That's 18 straight wins for Houston. Advancing to the national championship for the first time since 1984. How the heck did Houston win this game? Well, they ended the game on a 9-0 run in the final 33 seconds. And Duke did not. 1 field goal over the final 10.5 minutes of the game. They were 1 for their last 9. Duke goes down in the Alamo Dome. This Final Four recap is presented by Belfour Property Restoration. Welcome in the legendary Bill Raftery. What a game that was, Bill. What just happened? What did we just see from Houston?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Inability to handle the press was one of the major dilemmas for Duke. They weren't solid against it, and coughed it up, gave opportunities. Because Cryer and Sharp making threes and shooting the ball well, but Juwan Roberts is just something special. I mean, his numbers 11 and 12 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, this relentless pursuit. You mentioned his contest on the final shot there for flag. Just incredible what he brings to the floor, and I think it manifests itself with the overall attitude that this Houston team has. You know, Kelvin talks about them as family. They believe in themselves. They don't listen to all the whispers outside the program. They just go and do it every single year. It's just incredible, and a testament to him and their belief in him.
Yeah, when he came here to Houston, he was not a guy that was playing hard. And Kelvin said, you got to play harder. You got to play tougher. And he has answered that bell in Juwan Roberts, a huge reason why they won this game. Also, L.J. Cryer. Bill, L.J. Cryer kept them in this game as you saw it play out. You look at the end of game sequence. Did that come down to the inexperience of Duke?
You know, what's interesting, Grant had talked about this all week or the last couple of weeks, being in tough games. They weren't in a lot of tough games all year. In the Big 12, Houston was in a lot of tough games. They're older. They're experienced. There's a toughness, a physicality that present, a relentlessness that they give you each and every moment they're on the basketball floor. So not being prepped properly, maybe in terms of cutting, screening, catching the ball, all those things hurt Duke coming down the stretch to a team that just never gives up.
Houston with an epic comeback, chasing their first national championship in school history. They're 3 hours away from their campus, looking to win it for Kelvin Sampson, looking to win it for that program, now facing Florida on Monday night. How do these two teams stack up when you see them going down when they tip off Monday night on CBS?
I'm just about getting over this one, you know. I haven't even given any thought to Florida. You know, Florida's a different style. They might be prettier looking in the sense that the offense, they make some threes. A lot of bigs can come out and perform, but they're going to have to guard, because if they don't match the toughness and the aggressive play of Houston, it's going to be a tough night. But they're a good, solid basketball team, and again, Houston close to home. This place will be rocking, so they're going to have to overcome that as well.
Looking forward to the game, looking forward to the call on CBS. Bill Raftery on the call Monday night for the national championship there in San Antonio. Bill, thanks for spending a couple minutes here on HQ with us.
Thanks a lot, Akeem. Have a good night.
Bill Raftery, the legend, putting it in perspective for us. That game was bonkers. I mean, that was it. It was bonkers. Houston, we have a national championship game appearance. Look at the Final Fours here. 6 Final Fours, and they have never won a national championship. And that's been the big issue here. The most Final Fours without a national championship. And now Houston has a chance to change that on Monday night, facing Florida 3 hours away from their campus. This is going to be incredible. All right, back here in studio with Chip Patterson, and I want to point something out here because to me this is one of the biggest factors that we have talked about. Houston has held all 5 of its NCAA tournament opponents below 10 points their scoring average. Duke averaged 83 points per game this season. They scored 67 in this game. They locked down late. They got some fortuitous calls, perhaps, if you will, on flag, on that foul, on flag that was called, and he was looking around. But this defense of Houston, that's what mattered in the end, Chip.
This is it. 1 made field goal, the final 10:30.
It's called lockdown defense.
I mean, this is 8 points. When it was winning time, just 8 points. Just 1 made field goal. when the money was on the table, when the chance was there for Duke, the favorite to win the national championship on Selection Sunday and still the favorite all the way until tip-off today. But they are now out of this tournament because of their inability to convert, because of their inability to break the press, because of their inability to come up with more winning plays than Houston. Because some of it was, Cryer, Sharp coming up with these threes. It is Jawan Roberts getting it done on both ends of the floor. And just to think that the team that lost it with bad clutch time execution against Clemson, lost games early because of the inability to convert in those crunch time scenarios. I don't think it was I think Duke in any other conference would have had as many dominant wins, but there is something to be said for the fact that this Duke team did not get put in this position, and you just can't rep these kind of scenarios where everyone's standing on their feet, the place is going crazy, and everyone knows exactly what we are going to do and how we are going to execute. And Duke just didn't have it. And they didn't have it for the 10 biggest minutes of the season, and now it means their season is over.
I thought it was over. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought this game was over at about the 8-minute mark. I said, I don't know. I don't know. The way Cooper Flagg was playing, the way that they were making it look easy, I was like, I think this is over. And the beautiful thing about sports is it's not over until it's over. I know it's cliche, but that's why we love the reality. We love what happens in the moment. And Duke, one of its last 9, ain't gonna win it. Don't remember the Alamo. Yeah, this will go down as not only a learning moment for John Shire, because it's not supposed to be this easy. Chip, it's not supposed to be in your 3rd season you're leading Duke to a national championship, and it wasn't easy, as you saw down the stretch.
They didn't get tested much in this tournament.
No.
They didn't get tested a lot during the regular season, and now for Cooper Flagg, I mean, there's another universe somewhere where that shot goes in. And Cooper Flagg then takes off with, all of the great legends that have hit game winners in the Final Four. And everything that's going to be great in his pro career would come back to this amazing night in San Antonio. But, fans wanted more upsets. They wanted more Cinderellas. Well, the NCAA tournament is not written by script writers. This is not for narratives. This is competition. And Houston showed up for competition. They didn't show up for narratives. They didn't show up for a storybook ending for the #1 pick in the NBA draft. And so credit the Houston Cougars for making Duke earn it. Because when you thought it was over, we knew that all they had to do was hang around.
Yep.
All they had to do was just keep pushing, stay in this game. And now we get to stick with, as they win their 18th straight game, the nation's longest winning streak, they still have yet to be defeated in regulation since when?
November. Against Auburn. The 4 of their losses, 3 of them coming in overtime. We almost got overtime here, but it was winning time for Houston. And Houston, we have a national championship game appearance. This just in. 3rd national title game appearance, lost the previous 2 in '83 against NC State, Jim Valvano, 1984 against Georgetown. Kelvin Sampson, 69 years young, would be the oldest head coach to win a national title all time if he can get it done Monday night. That was a lot of effort to come all the way back. You could sit here and go, I don't know if they have it in them. What they did against Duke, can they do that? Can they hang with Florida? Well, I will tell you this, again, all 5 opponents they have faced, they held them 10 points below their season average. Why can't they do that to Florida? They can. We're about to find out Monday night. Back out to San Antonio, this Final Four recap presented by Belfour Property Restoration. We welcome in a cavalcade of stars, Avery Johnson, Hunter Dickinson, and Tim Doyle. And Hunter, look, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but I'm going to bring up bad memories. You know all too well what it's like to see Houston come back and win a game like that. What the heck just happened?
Hakeem, that was some major PTSD right there. I'm not going to lie. When Cooper Flagg hit that three in the corner, I thought the game was over. And then when it came to, them trying to get the ball in bounds, I looked at Avery. I said, Avery, this is going to be the hardest inbounds of their career.
Yeah.
And it sure was. I mean, JoJo Tugler on the ball is, I think, the best defender in the country. And so when you got that and then you got some scrappy defenders and great three-point shooters, I mean, Houston just makes big-time plays. I mean, Emmanuel Sharp hit a big three. JoJo Tugler gets the putback dunk. Unfortunately, Tyrese Proctor missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and then, a sketchy foul by Cooper Flagg. It could be a controversial foul, but, I mean, that's why Kelvin Sampson and his crew, they went 19-1 this year. They won the league last year. They're just an old team that finds ways to win, and, they've done it all year, and they just did it in the biggest game of their careers.
We've heard it before. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. When you look at this Houston team, they're so good defensively. They were extraordinary defensively in the second half. And, when you look at Houston, Cryer and Sharp, they were 9 for 16 combined from three. Cooper Flagg had an outstanding game. I just think at this stage of his career, he's just not the same type of a closer as my guy Walter Clayton Jr. Great defense by Houston on that play. Houston finished his game on a 9-0 run. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they did a magnificent job eliminating Tyrese Proctor from this game. He's not here. He didn't really show up. They defended him extremely well from behind the three-point line. And this game got to a crawl to the Houston Cougars pace, Tim. And that's why they're moving on to the national championship game on Monday night.
These were two games that showed it's 40 minutes. Right, the first game, it was all Auburn in the first half. They dominated for 20 minutes. And then in this game, Duke dominated for 32 minutes. But only 3 Duke players made field goals in the second half. James had a few. Knippel slowed down, but he had one. But it was all Cooper Flagg. And the wheels just completely fell off. I mean, this is an embarrassing loss for Duke. There's no other way to say it. Like, unacceptable. I mean, this is basic stuff. They couldn't box out. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds, including some key rebounds down the stretch on second chance opportunities. They couldn't inbound the ball. I mean, this is basic basketball, 101, and then Proctor went to the free throw line and missed free throws. So, Cooper had a sensational freshman year. It would have been awesome to see him on Monday night. They didn't deserve to play. They don't deserve to win this game. And they just completely fell apart. Their inexperience showed, and their lack of playing, Hakeem, in close, competitive games all season long for Duke caught up to them on the biggest stage in San Antonio.
I want to add, Duke, one made field goal in the last 10:31 of the game. I mean, you can't go on stretches like that. They were up 14 with 8 minutes left, But again, I've been there. I know what it's like.
Hunter, the lack of inexperience is a big storyline because Duke wasn't in a lot of close games. Duke didn't play a lot of tough games. Their last loss was to Clemson. And playing in the Big 12, how that prepares you for the NCAA tournament, how Houston is prepared. It's not to say that John Shire didn't prepare his players, but a Kelvin Sampson coach team. The grind that it is in the Big 12.
Absolutely. I mean, Tim alluded to it. Duke, I don't want to knock the ACC, but them playing Stanford and Cal didn't really help them. I mean,
ouch! You just knocked the ACC.
I mean, but
had you named specific schools, that was amazing that you just did that.
Well, I mean, the ACC was not good this year. I'll be honest, it was not good. I mean, Duke ran away with it. I mean, they were a really good team, but they ran away with it. I mean, Houston, they've been in close games. They played obviously us twice, really close. Went at UCF. I mean, it was a 2-point game. Or 1-point game, actually, down one with like 3 seconds left. Juwan Roberts hits the shot to win the game. They've had multiple close calls where, they had to battle through adversity. And things like that in the Big 12 happen. When you play teams in the ACC and just beat them by 20 every night, you don't get that experience, especially with a young team. But when you've got a really old team that's been through the battles, that's why they say experience is so important.
I totally agree with you, Hunter. When you talk about going on the road and you got to play at Iowa State, Brigham Young had an extremely good team this year and a great season. Those are some tough places to play. And I think that experience in close games was magnified tonight with the University of Houston Cougars. And they knew how to handle adversity. They never got rattled.
Yeah, that's right.
You can even see with Coach Calvin Sampson, it was always a flatline approach.
Two things I want to add. I thought the foul on Cooper Flagg on a rebound was awful. I'm sorry. Even if it was a foul, you don't make that call there, especially in a one-possession game. He didn't gain possession of the ball. The ref needs to swallow his whistle there. All right, so I think we all agree that we didn't love that call. But Juwan Roberts went to the free throw line. He shoots 58%, guys. And the difference in this game is he went to the line and banged down 2. And Tyrese Proctor, who made 13 three-pointers the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament, 0 in this game. He went to the free throw line and missed free throws. So Texas Tech right now is home because they missed free throws. And Duke right now, their season is over. Proctor didn't go to the line and make a front end of a 1-on-1. But I will say this, Hakeem. I thought the call on Cooper going over the back, you can't make that call. It was an awful call. The referee needed to swallow his whistle.
But when you put yourself in that position, you can't inbound the basketball against a press.
Totally.
And you make mistakes.
Right.
Then you bring officiating into it. And Houston deserved to win, whether that was a good or bad call. Houston deserved to be
call.
the final.
Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it with you. I'll say their names. This was a poorly officiated game by Keith Kimball, James Breeding, and Doug Shows. Because for most of that second half, it was the Cougars against Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, Kaman Malawach, Keith Kimball, James Breeding, and Doug Shows. That's what it was. And Avery, you saw Kelvin Sampson pleading for looks at the replay monitor, at fouls that were not called. You saw him work in that sideline, and finally, it's cliche as it goes, ball don't lie, Avery.
The ball didn't lie, and you got to give Coach Calvin Sampson credit. He's a veteran coach, but at the end of the day, I'm going to take a little bit of the shine off the officials because that's going to be somewhat of an injustice to how Houston finished this game. And remember what we talked about, Hakeem. I went with the Joes instead of the pros. Because in this situation, it's all about toughness and experience. Houston out-rebounded Duke by 11. That means something in this game. Duke, who scored 80 and 90 points all year long, scored 67 points with the pros. So give me the Joes any day of the week and twice on Monday.
Yeah, I think in this game, you can blame the officials, but like we said, Tyrese Proctor had a chance to go up 3, and unfortunately, that's why you have to play the game. He missed the front end of the 1-and-1, had a bad, call, but that's sports. You got to take advantages of when they're given to you, and we can talk about the bad call, but if Tyrese Proctor hit those 2 free throws, Cooper Flagg's never in that position to foul him, or lack thereof a foul.
Yeah, last thing I'll add, Hakeem, Houston would have lost this game by 25 if L.J. Cryer didn't go off.
Yep.
He made some
big boy
amazing threes. He made some huge shots. By the way, they were down 14, and Cryer had all of the important baskets. What about if he didn't make those shots? They would have dug themselves too deep of a hole. An amazing win, really an unforgettable game. I'll never forget where I was when Cooper Flagg blew a 14-point lead with 18 minutes left in the national semifinals.
Well, Avery, as you know, and we know, L.J. Cryer helped Baylor win a national championship 4 years ago. L.J. Cryer has that experience. He's got that dog in him, and he helps Houston get back to the national championship here. Time now for our Belfour player of the game. Hunter, who you got? Your Belfour player of the game is who?
I got to go with, what Tim Doyle just said. L.J. Cryer kept them in the game. You see Sharp hit a really big 3. Tugler had a really big offensive rebound. Roberts hit the game-winning free throws. But, like Tim said, they're not in this game without L.J. Cryer staying the boat, keeping it afloat, and then, the Cougars just overwhelming Duke with their defensive pressure.
Yeah, especially in the first half, Cryer wasn't getting any help from his backcourt mate. He was in foul trouble, so he was holding off Duke when they were on their runs. He was making big shots, tough shots, even against Cooper Flagg in certain situations. So, yes, L.J. Cryer is my player of the game.
Yeah, and I think he's the right answer, so I'll probably just add in another guy that they wouldn't have won this game without Juwan Roberts. And, double-digit rebounds, double-digit points, guarded Cooper Flagg in key moments of the game. But the thing that impressed me most is went to the line, banged down 2 free throws. I turned to someone who was sitting next to me when Proctor was shooting, and I said, as a player, you're not nervous in this moment. You worked your whole entire life to be in this moment. This is what you want to be in. He missed the front end. Juwan Roberts made his free throws. Avery, when you made that shot against the Knicks, before you got the ball, you were ready to shoot that ball, right? Do you remember?
I was ready. 18 feet in the left corner, I was ready. But you brought it up earlier. It's not about your free throw percentage when you're in that situation.
That's right.
It's just about making those shots. And it was a 1-and-1. So we didn't know what was going to happen with Juwan Roberts.
And then we forget that on the other end, he was the one that guarded Cooper Flagg at the end of the game and forced the miss for them to really seal the deal. So, he had his big impact on this game, footprint all over this game.
L.J. Cryer pumping in 26 points, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. Kelvin Sampson, 69 years young, 799 career wins. One more, a milestone for him and a moment for the University of Houston chasing their first national championship. They'll play for it Monday night. Our crew are there. Our crew's there all the way through Monday night. Avery Johnson, Hunter Dickinson, Tim Doyle, our guys getting you set for the national championship Monday night. Game going to tip off 8:49 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night on CBS, also streaming live on Paramount Plus. Of course, we'll have full highlights and reaction right here on CBS Sports HQ.